Today we're going to be canning some raspberry jalapeno jam. Now I am actually using these little jars. They are a 1/4 pint and it's going to take a total of 14. Some of these are going to have to be going in here on top of the other. But I wanted to mention, I didn't show you last time, this little rack that goes in your pot. This actually keeps your jars up off the bottom of your pot, and that's important. And so right now I've got hot water in there. We're going to fill all these with water and put them down in there. And we're also going to put in a little splash of white vinegar. And that's just to keep the hard water from settling onto your jars while they're in the water. So now we're just going to put these down in the water, and we're not going to let it boil because we are just going to sterilize them, and they are going to be staying in the hot water while we are preparing our jam. Okay, so now we need to cut up the jalapenos. Notice I'm wearing a glove. You do not want to touch the jalapenos, especially when you're cutting up a lot of them, with your bare hands, and you don't want to touch anything else. Don't, scratch your nose, don't wipe your eyes. And so we're going to cut the top off here, and we're going to cut this in half. Now this is fresh from my garden, and now you can see the inside here, and we're going to remove all of those seeds. Now you can also go in here with your knife and kind of remove that rib a little bit, but you definitely want to remove the seeds. And now we're going to chop this up into little pieces, because we're going to leave this in our jam, and we don't want big hunks of jalapeno in our jam. Okay, so now in here I've got about 5 cups of raspberries, or 5.5 pints of raspberries. I measured them by the pints that you get from the store. And then I've got our jalapenos all cut up. I used about 3 or 4 of them. It just kind of depends on how much heat that you want in there. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You got to have the acid in there so you can do a water bath. And then we're going to add our 6 cups of sugar. Now we're going to put this on a heat, and we're going to be mashing it as we're cooking it. And we're going to make sure we stir it so it doesn't burn on the bottom. And we're going to bring it up to a boil. Now once we get it to a full boil that you can't stir down, then count down to a minute. Okay, so now we've got the boil going. It's not been able to stir it down, and we're going to add a full package of pectin. And now we're going to have this simmer for about 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be on a full boil. We'll bring it up to a full boil again, but then simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, so now that our jam is done, I'm just skimming off some of the foam that's on the top. And I'm just saving it in a jar. Not canning it though. I got most of the foam off, and now I'm going to bring over our heated jars that we have sitting in our canner. Our jar is still hot. I'm going to put our funnel on there, and we're going to fill it till the first ring again. Okay, now we're going to make sure that our lid is clean. I'm sorry, our rim is clean. And we're going to add our lid. And now we're going to put that back into our hot water bath. Okay, so now they've been steam bathed for 15 minutes. We're going to let them sit on the counter and cool off. Now, I didn't mention last time, but you can take a towel once you get all of your jars out, and then put a towel over them, especially if you have your air conditioning on, so they cool slowly. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe and have a blessed week.